Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got my July wrap up for you. Alright, so this month has been a little crazy, just absolutely bananas, so let's go ahead and just dive into what I read this month. Alright, so I read so many ebooks this month. The first of which was On the Run. This was such a sweet, summery romance and just all the feelings in this one. It was so good. Also the beachy vibes, perfection. This one got a solid 5 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend this series. It's so sweet. Next up, I finished Covenant Volume 1. This is such a good graphic novel. If you're looking for something that's got religion mixed into it, but also magic and angels and demons, this is the perfect graphic novel to jump into. And the artwork in this is so cool, but also the storyline is really good, and it's super queer. All the characters are queer. This one also got a 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm really excited about the next volume coming out because I definitely need more of this in my life. So after that, I had a DNF, which was House Witch, I think is what it is. I think I got 5 pages in, and I really did not like the way the story narration was going, the way it was written. It felt like a kid's fairy tale, but in a kind of condescending way a little bit, because this book definitely wasn't aimed at kids. It felt like it was that's the way the narration was pointing, but the story was definitely not for kids, and I really did not like that. So this one got a real hard DNF. So next up, I finished Scarification. This is book 6 in the Irons and Work series, and it was an emotional roller coaster, and I loved the deaf representation in it, as well as the representation for having facial scars and also being an amputee. And it was just such a good emotional, angsty kind of a romance, and it was so perfect. This one also got a 5 out of 5 stars. I would highly recommend the Irons and Work series. Next up, also within the Irons and Work series, was the short story called Gravity. This is just a sweet, short little story, and it's the jumping off point for a spin-off series from the Irons and Work series, which I'm really excited to dive into because it has more queer rep as well as mental health rep and disability representation, so yes please. This one got 4 to 5 stars. Next up, I have Last Minute Walk-In, which is a novella within the Irons and Work series. This one was following Basil and Derek and kind of their journey towards adoption and getting married and big life-changing things for them. And this one got a 5 out of 5 stars. Next up, I finished Bookshops and Bone Dust. This was a really fun, cozy fantasy set in a little sleepy beach town. This is actually set before Legends and Lattes, and this is following Viv as she is helping her new friend that she made in this beach town who happens to own a bookstore. She's helping this new friend re-find her passion for selling books, and there's a whole lot of adventure in this, as well as it just being super cozy and just a sleepy beach town bookshop. This got a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Would definitely recommend if you're looking for something cozy and sweet and easy to read. Next up, I finished The Girl from the Sea. This was a really sweet sapphic romance following a queer girl on a small island town and the Selkie that she kind of falls in love with over the summer. And it's learning to be yourself and coming out and figuring out where you want to go in life and how your plans for the future might change. And this got a solid 4 to 5 stars. Would definitely recommend if you're looking for something beachy and cozy and just really fun. So next up, I finished Scratcher, which is book 7 in the Irons and Work series. This one is the most emotionally intense book out of the entire series. I think it was ups and downs and everything being turned on its head, and honestly one of the most emotionally draining books that I've ever read. It was so good, and it left me in tears at one point. This one got a solid 5 out of 5 stars. This one does come with a lot of trigger warnings, so please check those before diving into, and actually check trigger warnings before diving into any book in this series, but it was so good. And then we are on to the books that I'm reading as of the filming of this video. The first of which is Icebreaker. This one I'm about right around 50% in. It's so good, and I've already cried once while reading this. It's so good. This is following Mickey, who's living in the shadow of both his father and his grandfather, who are hockey legends. It's also following Jason Caulfield, who is coming into the sport, and is kind of Mickey's rival, and it's how Mickey's dealing with he's not really dealing with his depression and anxiety, and kind of maybe falling in love with Jason, and Jason's also kind of falling in love with Mickey, and like how queer stereotyping and like queerness isn't really accepted in the in sports. And it's just so soft and sweet, and well, maybe not soft and sweet, but it's still such a good book. And honestly, I've already cried once, so that doesn't tell you how good it is. I don't know what will, because this is just amazing, and I really hope this author does more sports themed books because I really want to pick them up. The other book that I'm currently reading as of filming this video is Ornamental. This is book 8 in the Irons and Works series. As you guys can tell, I went through a whole where I just decided I'm going to finish the entire series of Irons and Works. This one I'm about 10% in, and I'm really liking it so far. This one does deal with a character that has Tourette syndrome, and another character that's dealing with depression and anxiety. So again, check trigger warnings before diving into the series, but this is so good so far. And then I do have 2 more books that I'm planning to read before the end of the month. The first being Lore Olympus, and the last one being Snake Bites, which is one of the other novellas within the Irons and Works series. This one is following some new characters. I don't know who yet. But yeah, that is everything that I read this month. I mean, it was a lot. And yeah, favorite book this month, probably Scratcher or Covenant, I think, is another favorite. So what did you guys read this month? Did you have a favorite book? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.